Hey, hey, hey! I hope you're having a fantastic day today. So today is the day that I wanted to come in and really talk to you about form and a few of the key things that you can do when working on your abs to get even more out of every single exercise that you do. There are 3 tips that I have for you guys today. The first one is slow the F down. Slow down. I can't count how many times people come to me and they're like, I just did 200 sit-ups this morning. I'm like, great. Could have done 10 and gotten even more out of it, right? So with sit-ups, just like any other exercise, you want to slow down and really think about what you're doing. Think about really squeezing the muscles that you're working and contracting them fully and extending them fully as you're doing the exercise. So rather than try to get in like 50,000 quick sit-ups, instead get in like full extension, super flexed, super like pumping those muscles together, 20 sit-ups instead, and you'll get a heck of a ton more out of it. So tip number 1, slow down. Tip number 2 is going to be, I want that to be tip number 3, but for some reason, full extension. Tip number 2 is full extension. I should write stuff down, right? So a lot of times, I'm gonna come down to the floor and talk to you guys about this one. Let's see here, you can see my pillow because I don't have a fancy Bosu ball or anything here at my house. If you have a Bosu ball or a Swiss ball, freaking awesome, use that. But if you don't, you can use a pillow, anything. So a lot of times when people do sit-ups or any type of ab exercise, you'll see this. Go sideways, this. And what is wrong with this is that you're only doing half. You're only going halfway down. You're never getting that full extension. So what's going to be really important is getting full extension. And I am going to even encourage you to, in a very controlled manner, overextend. So when we're doing something like crunches, and I will in each workout video, I'll tell you guys where and when you can use something that will allow you to overextend to get even more out of the exercise. So you can put a pillow or your Swiss ball or Bosu ball under your back, just like this. And do you see what this allows me to do? It allows me to come back in a very controlled manner and then roll up, come back, and roll up. This is giving me, working my muscles even more than just regular sit-ups. Now, if you don't want to do that, just fully extend. So instead of being up here the entire time, come all the way down and all the way up. That full extension, right? Okay, and then tip number 3. This is gonna be something that I want you to think about all day long with every exercise you do, with every move that you make throughout the day, and especially when you're doing your ab exercises. You have down here at the bottom of your abs something called your transverse abdominis. And what this muscle does is it holds everything in nice and tight. For the majority of us, that muscle is highly underworked. And I've seen this product, it's like a waist trimmer, that's so bad. Because what the waist trimmer does is it holds everything in and makes that muscle even weaker. So when you don't have that on, your transverse abdominis is even weaker and everything looks even sloppier. So transverse abdominis runs all the way around and its job is holding everything in and together. To work this muscle, you have to suck your stomach in very hard. That's what it does, right? So let me come to the side for you guys. So like when you were a kid, remember how you used to like suck it in so far so that you could like feel your ribs? Like that? That right there. That is working this muscle. So now I have to start off by saying I could not suck it in that far a month ago. I couldn't suck my stomach in that far a month ago. It took work to be able to get it sucked in that far. But that just means that my transverse abdominis is getting stronger. And you know what's happening as my transverse abdominis is getting stronger? This stupid little pooch that's been at the bottom of my stomach forever that I've like never been able to get rid of is slowly flattening out. And it was all in that muscle. So I want you guys to think about working your transverse abdominis at least three times a day, not in your workout. So just while you're cruising around or whatever, I do it a lot while I'm in my car or while I'm just standing around, sucking it in down here. You need to do it in front of a mirror because you need to see that you're doing it in the right spot for the first few times so that you can feel how that muscle works. So find where that is, and then anytime that you find yourself just standing around, suck it in as hard as you can and hold it in for as long as you can. And do that 3 times, right? So every day, do that 3 times. But even more importantly, or maybe as importantly, whatever, anytime you're exercising, I want you to be focusing in on squeezing that in. Something that helps squeeze that in with me is also squeezing my glutes. Like, it seems like together, when I squeeze both of them at the same time, it seems to work better. So anytime you're exercising, really focusing on squeezing that in really tight, and especially when you're doing ab exercises. So you can see here, let me give you a little demonstration. If you're doing a sit-up, your stomach can have a natural tendency to want to pop out like that. Can you see that good enough? So my stomach wants to pop out. So instead of allowing it to do that, what I'm going to do is before I even begin, I'm going to consciously push the lower part of my back down towards the ground and suck my belly button down as hard as I can and flex my glutes. Okay, so all 3 of those things happen before I even begin. So I have everything sucked in, and then as I come up, I'm going to blow out while still sucking in. So I'm really focusing on keeping sucked in the entire time with any exercise that I do, whether it's up here with these guys, or it's with these. Any exercise that I do, I am consciously sucking that part of my stomach in, because that is what's going to work that transverse abdominis, which again, as I just told you, is the muscle that holds your waist tight, that keeps everything nice and tight and thin and gets rid of that pooch. So those are my 3 tips that I want you to take with you through this 7-day ab challenge. And then, you know, as you continue exercising for the rest of however long, hopefully for the rest of your life, always consciously having those muscles engaged is going to be very important in any exercise that you do in protecting your spine. Before you do a squat, you should make sure that your core is engaged and your glutes are engaged. Before you do a bridge, you should make sure your core is engaged and your glutes are engaged. Before you lunge, before you jump, before you pick your kids up, all that stuff that keeps your spine safe. So the 3 tips, again, are slow down, quality over quantity. Think about what you're doing, move with intention, don't just bust through 1,000 reps. Make each rep count. Number 2, full extension and even overextension for some exercises is gonna make a world of difference. And then number 3, keep that transverse abdominis muscle flexed and tight by sucking your stomach in as hard as you can anytime you're exercising and a few times throughout the day as you just go about life, okay? So I hope that these tips have helped you. These are 3 tips that have seriously helped me with increasing muscle tone in my abs. And as I've been learning, the more muscle you have, the bigger your ab muscles are, the less lean you have to be in order to look like you have like a 6-pack or toned abs. So previously I had to get super lean, like a very low body fat percentage, where my period was irregular, I was tired a lot, I just looked too scrawny. I had to get really low body fat percentage in order to see definition in my abs. And now I'm at a higher body fat percentage and I have more energy and I feel better. And I have much more visible ab muscles because of these things that I've been doing for the last, seriously, I think it's been about 3 to 4 weeks that I've been implementing these new training styles in, and have seen a pretty drastic change in how my abs look overall on a regular basis. Right now, I mean, you can still see a little bit of, but it's, Father's Day weekend, and I've been eating like crap all weekend. If you saw on my post yesterday, I had like 4 bowls of cereal. I ate the whole box. You know, and they're still hanging out. They're still around. At the end of next week, after our 7-day ab challenge, here's hoping they're gonna be freaking popping, and here's hoping your guys's are too. So if you have any questions, please drop them below. And yeah, I can't wait to get started. Bye bye.